Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a legend team for the current Color Cup from Juanio here. Congrats to you. Always kind of showcase their legend team as well on this channel, so yeah, nothing too surprising. We're going to take a look at a team here with, again, the Shadow Alone and Marowak if you don't have this Pokemon yet. Definitely something worth building here. We're going to have the normal variant of Jumpluff. I actually built a Jumpluff just for this video here as a normal variant. I had one normal variant built already before, but with bad IVs, and I had a Shadow variant built, and now I have a normal variant with good IVs built, which is kind of something nice, because for example, matchups like this here, you just don't take damage really. You just really don't take damage. You have a lot of bulk here, and you don't need the extra damage output, as you're going to see here as well. We're going to be able to just destroy the opponent's Gastrodon, have some energy here now for the Typhlosion, and have, generally speaking, a great time, as we will see another Aerial Ace coming through. This is going to allow us to get the shield from the opponent. We have now a shield advantage. We are going to be able to catch a move here as well, which is very likely going to be that Thunder Punch, which is going to be totally fine for me. They go into their Feraligatr. We can go for the Shadow Bone, and if they let the move go through, we're going to have access to the move of Bone Club, which would be able to knock them out there, and this is basically a good game. There's not really anything that the opponent can do here anymore. We will see the Typhlosion coming back in, and we will see as well that I have 2 shields still left, and Golisopod is going to take this opportunity to farm on the opponent. So what do you do against Toxapex? You usually want to stay in. Here I was a little bit too slow at solving out. We're going to have the Kingdra here against us now. And they're going to be able to go for very likely an Outrage, and I don't really want to get hit by an Outrage, and that's why I decided to use a shield here. We should be able to knock them out with one energy ball, but even if they want to use a shield here, which they do, we should be able to outspeed them afterwards. With the defense drop here, I was wondering if it would have been the better play to go for the Aerial Ace by Amphalis, and I would have not done enough damage to knock them actually out there. And so, yeah, we will see here the Toxapex coming back in, and we're going to be able to go for the energy ball, get a little bit of damage onto them, but we're not really in a position where we can allow ourselves to swap out, I want to say, but we're still going to do that, as we can still at least go for the ground type move here with the Bone Club coming through. We're going to get some guaranteed damage against them, which is really nice. We can survive a Brain. Brain does around 50% of our health, and so we will see what they have in the back. It is going to be the Quagsire, and we can still even reach for another charge move here, which is going to allow us to get a lot of damage onto them. Hopefully enough for us to fully farm them down with our Pokemon. I can let the move go through here. They're forced to go for a Stone Edge, which takes quite a lot of energy from them, which is going to be exactly what we want to have happen here. Anyway, as we can now go ahead and go for the Exeter with our Golisopod here, which is the main star of this team. Golisopod, as said before already in the video, quite common actually, and also quite decent. And as you will see here, the opponent is going to have the Toxapex now in the back still. We can go for the Liquidation, does a little bit more damage compared to the Exeter. Has the chance to drop the opponent's defense. Here in this case we don't get either of those chances. They either like the drop or like the knockout. But we're going to be able to go for the full farm down, and with this we can win the battle. Next opponent is going to hard roll us completely here. We're going to have the lead. That is going to be a really bad matchup for us. And then they're going to swap out into the Toxapex, which is also a really bad matchup for us. So yeah, there's not really a lot that I can do here. But luckily I will be able to get the defense stop here, which can be very impactful because this is going to allow us to do more damage now. And especially if I would get another one here, this would be very good for me. But we do not get that move there. But also, I make a little bit of a mistake. I decided to use a shield here, all good. But I decided to go for an Exeter now. I sure went for the Liquidation. Liquidation, I think, does like 5 more damage or something like this. But as you will see here, this would have been enough to knock them out for sure. And I didn't have to use another shield here. Would have put me into a way better position. I guess I would have been able to get to a Brine beforehand, which they would have went for anyway, so it would have mostly not really mattered too much. But they revealed that they're going to have their own Golisopod in the back, which is going to be a bit awkward, because now we have a triple water team from the opponent, which is going to allow them, of course, to have a great time against Pokemon like the Marowak here, which are just going to be a little bit too weak. I predict that the opponent would swap out of here, but my only hope is that they're running Awkward Tail plus Mud Slap, which nobody does do anyways, so we're sadly going to lose this battle. The next opponent is going to have something very spicy as well here with the Gyarados. Gyarados is going to be a Pokemon that I did not really expect at all in this meta, but does make quite some sense to be fair. I feel like Dragon-type Pokemon as well, like with the Kingdra, is going to be also something that I kind of want to take a look in for like the future. Kingdra is seemingly a very strong Pokemon. As you'll see here, we're going to get a defense stop against the opponent again here, which is going to be great. We can let the move go through, and they should be in range for one charge move from the Marowak anyway. But let's see, we're going to be able to outspeed them. That's going to be great. It's guaranteed going to get the KO for sure here. which is going to be perfect for us, as we will see here that the opponent is going to swap out into their Gyarados. I can swap out as well. And Aerial Ace is going to allow us to unline the switch clock, which is kind of important as well. I feel like that's kind of what we want to see. And we will see as well that we're going to use a shield here onto a Crunch. Crunch is going to get the defense stop onto us, which is really unfortunate because it's going to be very, very difficult as they now do more damage and they're going to get another Crunch off. This time around, no defense stop, which is good. We can go for the bait here, but it's going to be a bit of a tricky thing because we are seeing here that they're not going to go down from that one. But as we will see that we can go for our bait, we're also going to try to catch a move here now on to our Marowak because we kind of needed to. Our Marowak is our only hope here. The Stone Edge is going to get completely undercharged, which the opponent had to do as well. But at least we can still go ahead and go for another hard-hitting charge move, which is gonna allow us to get them into a range where I can maybe knock them out with a Bone Club. Luckily, the opponent decides to go for a charge move here. And I just have to kind of go up now to a double Aerial Ace in order to knock out the Gyarados here, as well as the opponent's Quagsire, and I'm one away to get to a double Aerial Ace, and that was a bit of a mistake, but I'm still going to be able to do that, so it's going to be fine here, and as you will see, we can move on to the next opponent. Into the next battle, we're going to have a great lead here for ourselves. Their opponent is definitely going to swap out anyway. And Feraligatr against Golisopod is a very nice matchup for our Golisopod, as we're going to be able to take a hit here. Everything is kind of resistant unless they're running Crunch, which is quite a rare move on it. But also we're going to be able to kind of have the same pacing with our Exeter, doing a lot of damage and putting them out to range where I can go for the shield and go for the full farm on afterwards. And even if they want to go back into their Abamas now, they have to still take 2 Exeters here because the Powder Stone is not going to be enough to knock us out as well. And also then at the end of the day, they're going to be aligned against our own Marowak, which they have no charge move pressure against at all, and so we're going to be in a very solid position here. We see the Exeter coming through, we see that they're only going to have one Pokemon left, it's going to be the Quagsire, and it's not over yet. I kind of have to be a bit mindful here, because they're definitely going to be able to go for the Stone Edge here. I don't think they're going to go for a bait at all. They go for the Stone Edge, and now we're 2 shields down, the opponent has, yeah, the 2 shields there of course, which can be a bit tricky. I decided to go for a bait here, which works out great. And I'm going to try to catch a move here very, very soon, and it works out perfectly. And also what works out perfectly is that the opponent did not even decide to undercharge, they just went for the full charge, allowing me to basically guarantee win the battle, because I can take a Stone Edge quite easily, to be fair. But here, as you see as well, we're just going to go straight for the energy ball, the opponent doesn't shield, and we can win this battle. The no shield there from the opponent would have been the only way of winning them if I went for the bait, but for me it doesn't make sense to go for a bait. But this was basically the only way of them winning still the battle, because they had to hope for me to misplay the battle, but I didn't, which is definitely fine for me. Anyway, we're going to see here the Typhlosion with the Thunder Punch against us. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for that Bone Club against them as well. This is going to allow us to get the shield, and we can swap out straight away into the Golisopod, which has to be a bit mindful, because of course Thunder Punch is going to be super effective, but we should be able to still... Oh, we don't even get to the next move in time. That's a little bit awkward, so they could align themselves if they really wanted to. But, oh, never mind, they don't have a shield left anymore. So, yeah, Kingdra has to take those Exeter's now. Exeter is going to do enough damage to definitely two-shot them. And we will be even able to outspeed the opponent here, which is going to look really, really good for us, because now we can align ourselves perfectly, and this should be basically it. As we will see here, it's going to be a Ferrothorn in the back, which is going to be great even for my Marowak here. I can keep even the energy, and that's going to be totally fine for later on. You see me here going into the Jumpluff. The benefit here is that Jumpluff is going to be able to go for Former Force, then go for the Aerial Ace, which allows us to outspeed the opponent's Typhlosion, and this is completely sealing the deal. There's no way for them to even get rid of my Jumpluff anymore, and Aerial Ace is all we kind of need here to knock them out, and so we will see here the Mirror Shot actually coming through. They're going to get the attack drop. This might actually allow them to survive a hit, but they decide to forfeit anyway. So you really want to stay in here in this matchup, but then the opponent decides to swap out and then make a big mistake. I should have went into my other Pokemon. It's silly to go into your Jumpluff here. That literally does not make any sense at all. So that was a very, very silly mistake by me. I should have definitely played it a little bit differently and went into my Golisopod instead, where I can take a hit, where I can just dish out some nice neutral excellent damage, but you cannot get them all. We will see here that I'm going to be able to at least go for 2 baits here with the Aerial Ace coming through, and both of them gonna get the shield from the opponent, and this is also going to force the opponent to swap out of here on the Energy Ball into their Toxapex again, which is totally okay for me, because it's going to put the opponent into a range where 2 Bone Clubs are going to be enough to knock them out, and so I'm going to be kind of happy with this one. Otherwise it would have not been the case. we should be kind of fine here. They're getting off another Bone Club afterwards, and I'm fairly certain it won't be enough to knock the opponent out. So let's see here, we're going to even overfarm by a little bit here. The Bone Club is going to come through. Let's see how this is going to go. It is going to be enough to knock them out for sure, and we will see them stopping into the Feraligatr, which now has to take a hard-hitting Shadow Bone stab move here from the Shadow Marek, knocking out the opponent. They're going to reveal that they're going to have the Bomber Snow in the back, which is still going to be fine because our Pokemon in the back are still totally okay with that. Here, as you'll see, I will be able to catch an Energy Ball onto my Flying-type Pokemon, which is kind of funny. But yeah, they're of course going to be able to go for the full farm load here. If they want to, we can go for the Aerial Ace, and this kind of wins us the battle as well, because now I know that they're not going to be able to knock me out in time. I know that they're not going to be even able to win the CMP tie, and so the Extra is going to be easily enough to seal the deal. Next up, well, let's see who we're going to have next. We're going to have a Starmie here in the lead. That's going to be a matchup that I don't really like too much, but let's see what the opponent is going to do next. It's going to be here the swap out into the Jumpluff. That is not ideal. Like, our lead would be definitely fine here, but like in the scenario that we're currently in, it's definitely not ideal whatsoever. And so Aerial Ace is going to do a lot of damage, not enough to knock us out, but it is going to allow us to get to another Extra here, which gonna get the opponent quite low actually. Especially if I would be able to reach another one, which I could have done here if I would have used the shield, but I don't think it was worth it. Never mind, I decided to use a shield here, so it is worth it maybe. Honestly, in hindsight, I think it would have been better to get just energy with my Alolan Marowak. But at least you're going to have alignment now, and we will see here that the Starmie comes in and goes for full farm now. This is kind of what I was worrying about, why I thought it was most likely not worth it to go for the shield there. At the end of the day, I kind of do need my shield for the Starmie mainly. I was a little bit worried about a potential Ice Beam Starmie, but as we will see here, it's just going to be the normal Power Gem variant, and we can go for another charge move as well. And I feel like you kind of have to try to catch a move here in order to have a chance of still having a way of winning this battle. But yeah, we're gonna see here the Power Gem going to connect, gonna put us into the deep red health, and we can still at least get the knockout. And that's what I want to say, but they actually swap out into the Credilli, catching the hit, which is gonna be very difficult because now we swap out into our own Marowak. We're gonna be able to go for the Shadow Bone very, very soon as well. And honestly, I've never got the debuff with it. It's a 20% chance to debuff the opponent's defense with Shadow Bone. Would have been definitely nice quite in a few occasions, but here I made a little bit of a mistake as well. I sure went for one extra fast move because the opponent still gets the move here. I want to see who wins the CMP tie, if it's Credilli on us. I would assume that we would be able to win the CMP tie, and this was definitely a little bit of an awkward one, because it's going to allow the opponent to just basically win the battle, which was not really what we aimed for. Too many Kingdra today. Kingdra does make a lot of sense, to be fair. Kingdra is a very solid Pokemon. And as you see here, we're going to be able to go for the Extra. This is going to allow us to get the shield from the opponent. And to be fair, I should have just let the move go through. I feel like it would have been the best way possible of playing this matchup. Just let the move go through, but now in this, I kind of misplayed it. I should have just let it go through because now we have the debuff onto us. And the opponent is going to have a Pokemon in the back that here is going to be not something that we can hit at all with the charges that they have. And so, yeah, I don't really feel like that is kind of something that is really working out well for us. But yeah, we will see here the Burning coming through again does around half of the health of our Marowak. We're going to try our best to go for the Bone Club spam, but I'm still too worried about the other Pokemon that still has energy as well. So yeah, we are going to be a little bit in a tough spot here. We will see the opponent going for another charge move. It's going to be a Brian, and we're going to try our best to go for our own charge move here, of course. As we will see the swap out into the Kingdra, I can swap out into my Jumpluff. I'm going to try my best to go for the Aerial Ace here to knock them out, but I'm not too sure if it's going to be enough. It's just barely not enough. They can still go for a charge move. Hopefully it's just the Octazooka. It is the Octazooka, and they do get the debuff. That can be actually quite annoying, especially, yeah, it is quite annoying. We would have had a great matchup here, but like this, there is basically nothing that we can do. Yeah, they're going to be able to two-shot us with the Aerial Ace here from this range, and I have basically no pressure because, yeah, guess what? We're going to have here Aerial Ace that's double debuffed, and so we're forced to stop out of here, which I didn't want to do at all. But as we will see, the Shadow Bone is coming through. We're going to be able to get a lot of damage onto them. But yeah, we will see here as well that we're going to try our best to go for another charge move. It doesn't work out whatsoever. We're going to go for another energy ball. It looks kind of dire here, I have to say. And yeah, even with the defense up here, we're just going to get knocked out anyways. That's going to be it for this game. And we can move on to the final one for today. So, let's take a look at what the next opponent is going to have here. We're going to see the Credilli, actually, even right now, but also while playing, I didn't actually really realize what they had in the lead. So, yeah, let's see here what they're going to go ahead and do. We're going to decide to, use a shield against the Rock Side. Could be also Stone Edge. Stone Edge does do a lot of damage. Rock Side doesn't really do that much damage. I'm actually curious if this Pokemon would also work with Stone Edge and Rock Side on the same moveset. But of course, it's something that we would need to find out ourselves. But yeah, as you will see here, we're going to be able to still go ahead and go for the hard-hitting liquidation, get the defense storm onto the opponent, allowing us to get some nice energy as well with our Mirror Wreck, which does some super effective damage here. We just with the first move of Fire Spin. They swap out into the Mirror Roll. I make a big mistake by going for this move. I should have went for the other move here instead, because here, of course, double resisted, but I only saw the Water type, typing there on the top right corner. I didn't see the normal type myself, so yeah, this was definitely a little bit of an issue there, but we're gonna still be able to go for the bait. We're gonna try our best here to go for another Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is going to allow us to get the shield, and we're gonna try our best to reach even another Energy Ball there, but we decided to go for the Aerial Ace spam, which I was not too sure about, but the opponent still has another shield left, so never mind, it was actually a very smart decision. But now we're gonna go for another Aerial Ace, and with this, we're going to be able to get the opponent insanely low with it as well. We will see the charge move coming through. It's going to be the Hyper Fang. We're going to be able to take it. We swap out. They swap out. And we should be kind of fine here. I was actually expecting them to swap out as well. That's why I swapped out myself. And so the opponent is going to get farmed down here. And one more charge move is all it takes to knock them out. Bibarel is going to say goodbye. And that's going to be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. This team is really, really nice. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.